I want you to meet little Christian. These are the moments when everything seems so normal. A little boy playing. The first trip to Disney World. Christian is now almost 6 years old. But what's this? Christian screaming uncontrollably. A doctor calls it extreme mood changes. These are not the only videos that will show you something is terribly wrong here. Look at this secret video recorded on a day Christian's mom turned her son over to his dad for visitation. Blood is seen pouring out of his nose. And those bloody scenes, they're repeated, captured on camera. Bloodstained paper towels on the table. Pearland police are now investigating shocking allegations that this little boy may have been fed the psychedelic drug Mescaline over and over again for years. How frustrated are you?
My son started bleeding for no reason. The rashes, fevers, he started behaving, and everything happened within 12 hours of coming from visitation. After 24 hours, everything disappeared. He's perfectly fine, the normal kid, and we haven't done anything.
Salvador Baez-Franceschi has been crying out for justice from the Brazoria County courthouse for years. His mom discovered strange-looking mushrooms while cleaning his home several years ago. Peyote looks like a strange mushroom.
Traditional ritual use of peyote, a species of spineless cactus, which is the spiritual basis for their culture.
But Salvador has been ignored in court, accused of nonsense, even falsely jailed. And he has spent a fortune fighting for custody of his little boy. You spent so much money.
More than $340,000 so far.
Fighting for your son?
Yes.
$340,000. So much money Salvador had to actually quit his job so he had time to represent himself in court. Court transcripts, they're riddled with his repeated warnings about mescaline being to blame for his son's behavior. Then Salvador turned to us, and this is a case of family injustice that will shock you, and it begins here in the courtroom of Brazoria County Associate Judge Chad Bradshaw. Yes, yet another unelected judge given the power to take away our kids. What a mistake that is.
I contacted two lawyers from Brazoria, and the two denied me representation when they found out that it was Matt Mahoney and Bradshaw together on the same courtroom.
When they found out Salvador's wife was represented by this guy, Pasadena attorney Matt Mahoney, not just a Facebook friend of the judge, they claim. What's your relationship with him? You guys lifelong friends?
I've never told anybody I know Judge Bradshaw all my life.
You never said that you grew up together?
No, I didn't grow up with Judge Bradshaw.
You didn't?
No.
So you never said that in court?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
You're telling me that you've talked to Pearland police and that they've told you there's an investigation?
Yes, sir. Instead of protecting this little boy from the very beginning, Judge Bradshaw ordered a psychiatric evaluation of only one of his parents, Salvador. His wife said, well, he was crazy. The Bel Air psychiatrist the judge ordered Salvador alone to pay for was Dr. George Leventon. His cases include the legendary NASA love triangle. Leventon investigated and found no evidence Salvador had hallucinations, delusions, mania, or any other psychotic behavior. But look what happened. Judge Bradshaw ignored his own court-appointed doctor. Quoting the evidence to me was clear, the judge said, that at least you, Mr. Baez, had a psychotic break. Dr. Leventon doesn't talk on TV, but the letter he sent was clearly directed at Judge Bradshaw. Quoting, just the opposite is true, he wrote, accusing Salvador's wife of, quote, false accusations, bogus legal actions, interference and threats of terminating Mr. Baez's relationship with his son, including taking his son from him to Mexico. Court transcripts show when Dr. Leventon eventually testified in court, Mahoney challenged him. If he was so concerned about possible psychedelic drugs being given to this cute little boy, why didn't he report it to CPS? So the doctor said he did a year ago, and CPS did nothing. By then, the case had escaped Judge Bradshaw's court. The actual elected judge of the 300th District Court, Randall Huffstetler, rightfully had ordered a custody evaluation. The report recommended primary custody for Salvador, psychiatric testing for Mom. But don't you love how fast family justice works? It's now 5 years later, and still no end to this custody fight. It is a testimony to how broken the family court system is. Now the case is in the 461st District Court. A new judge, Patrick Bulanek. He was appointed by the governor. He was on the bench last November when he heard repeated concerns this little boy was being fed mescaline over and over again. Could that explain the outbursts, the bleeding? But instead, the judge held Salvador in contempt that day for refusing to sign the papers that would let his wife take his son to Mexico.
San Luis Potosí is the capital city of the state with the same name.
A part of Mexico known for its historical use of mescaline. The court ignored warnings from doctors, including the boy's godmother, who warned the possible ingestion of mescaline was endangering his health. That was 7 months ago. How can videos like these not raise alarm bells?
In most countries, it's against the law to even grow mescaline-containing cacti with the intent to consume them.
It's hard to detect mescaline. It can only last 1 day in the blood, 2 in urine. But Salvador thinks it may explain why the bizarre behavior he sees in Christian ends hours after he arrives for a visit.
How frustrating? I don't have any words. My son is suffering and there is nothing I can do.
But this may be the breakthrough the judges can no longer willfully ignore in Angleton. On his last supervised visit, Salvador says he tested his son's urine. The results? Positive for mescaline. Salvador filed this police report under penalty of perjury, and the police say they have now opened an investigation. And guess what? For the first time, a CPS investigator actually called after all those complaints. But that doesn't excuse Judge Bulanek or Judge Bradshaw. Matt Mahoney says in the court transcripts that you guys grew up together or something? Were you all buddies when you were little?
I don't have any comment.
Okay, but why haven't you protected this kid?
I don't have any comment on the case. You can go get the transcript of the trial.
Bradshaw is now running to be the elected judge in Brazoria County 300. Guess we shouldn't be surprised that one of his early political donors was Matt Mahoney.
How many times have I told you I'm not going to talk to you about the case?
But many of the big Houston divorce lawyers are investing early in Judge Bradshaw. Familiar names. Judges shouldn't take money from lawyers who have cases in their court, but I guess the campaign ethics train hasn't made it yet to Angleton. In Harris County, our family injustice investigations have cut political donations by divorce lawyers to judges by 95%.
It's not appropriate for me to comment about cases that I've heard.
And you
I don't think it's fair to the child.
Fair to the child? So why didn't you or any other judge in this county protect this little boy in 5 years? Get him his own darn lawyer, get him to a doctor. Lawyers for Salvador Baez asked Judge Bulanek the other day to protect Christian once again. The judge set a hearing for a month from now. More delays. Fair to the child, huh, Judge?